Moving down from our winners to the losers. Dylan, who is your trade deadline loser?
My loser, it's sad. I'm staying in the AL Central. I'm going with the Minnesota Twins.
Oh, okay.
Like they're in second place, or they're what, second place. They're right around the Royals in the AL Central. So I mean, yeah, they're one game above them, 58-47. That's 11 games over 500. You'd think that they would make a push. Like that team is not far off, and they could have used another piece. Trevor Richards doesn't do anything for me. That's just a journeyman extra innings eater. That, I mean, the innings aren't good when he eats them. So, I mean, I think they could have done more. I know they were one of the teams that were very financially hamstrung here with the moves that they made. So I knew they didn't have a lot of money to take someone in. So they probably looked up to the Guardians in the division and said, all right, the AL's loaded. Even if we did sneak in, we're just going to lose like we've done every single year for the past 30. We made it to the playoffs. So I don't fault them for that, but I think they should have done more in the position they were in.
Yeah, it was like until 5 o'clock until they actually made a move. It was really late, and I'm really surprised. It's like the going prices for pitching was too high for them, and so I they were just happy staying back, and it looks like as if they're just one to fight for a wild card spot. So my loser, it's two here, like 1A and 1B, and one of them might kind of surprise you. I'm starting off with Detroit here. And I know they just traded Jack Flaherty, but pitching is at a premium. And you saw what the Orioles gave up to get, his name is
Trevor Rogers.
Yeah, Trevor Rogers. You saw what the Orioles gave up for Trevor Rogers, and you couldn't move Tariq Skubal. The Tigers should have moved mountains to get rid of Skubal. You're not going anywhere this year. They are 13 games out of first place in the AL Central. 13 games. You're not winning anything this year. You could get a haul from a team like the Orioles. And I'm going to talk about them next. They're one of my losers. And I know they made a lot of moves today.
I thought about it.
But it's not significant. And I'm going to tell you why. If you're the Orioles, go get Tariq Skubal. You've been in the bottom 10 in MLB in ERA, opponent's batting average, and hits over the past month around the league. Their pitching has not been good, and it's why they haven't been able to pull away from the Yankees when the Yankees were sliding. I understand the move getting Trevor Rogers, but if that's what you had to give up, Connor Norby and Kyle Stowers, you might as well go get Tariq Skubal or Jack Flaherty. Now, with that being said, you would probably have to give up Jackson Holiday, and I am more than okay with making that move. Teams need to stop prospect hugging. Are you trying to win a World Series or just make the playoffs? And I'm talking to the Orioles. Acquiring a pitcher with the ERA north of 4 in Trevor Rogers is a move to just make the playoffs. You want to put your foot down and let everybody know you're playing for the World Series? You go get Tariq Skubal. As of now, he's going to be the AL Cy Young winner. I don't care if the price is too high. But you know what? When you're trying to win a World Series, there's no price too high. And I think the Orioles might have dropped the ball here.
I have a lot of opinions on that. First of all, I agree the Orioles are a loser. Second of all, they're not getting Flaherty because they tried it last year and he sucked there. So they didn't want to do it again.
I get it, yeah.
Third of all, I don't think Skubal was ever on the market. If you're Detroit and you finally have some sort of shine, and they're not far away. Like I went in this year saying that the Tigers would win that division. And their offense is just abysmal.
I was going to say, none of their bats have developed at all.
It's terrible. It's a horrific offense. But I think that they can make some tweaks in the offseason to get some actual bats in there. If they just sign 3 hitters, they don't have to be world beaters. But if they would have traded, they still can in the offseason. If they brought in someone like a Brent Rooker, or if they got just a couple other pieces that just hit the ball. You can piece it together with what you have. You can't trade an ace like that, and then you're really relying on kids to develop, and you're going to lose that city again. And I just think with Skubal, they have something. When Casey Mize is healthy, I think he's a decent, if not solid pitcher. But they have enough pieces there where they've been smart. They signed Lorenzen last year. They got Flaherty this year. Like they have been smart with signing guys, developing them, getting them to their peak, and trading them. How about maybe they do that one more time and keep these guys and see what happens? I think Scooble was never on the market. In terms of what the Orioles needed to give up, I don't think that Holiday was ever in their cards.
It should have been.
That's
You want to win a World Series? It has to be.
I agree. And one you didn't mention they added Zach Eflin as well, but
It doesn't do anything for me. That's
I
not
agree.
win a World Series.
I think
Acquisition.
until the Dodgers traded for Flaherty at 6:00, I think the only pitcher that was acquired throughout the whole deadline that will pitch in a postseason game, starting pitcher wise, is Zach Eflin. He's the only other pitcher acquired. They won't start Rogers in a game. They traded all that, and he's not starting a playoff game.
Ridiculous. That's what I'm saying. If that was the package, if that was the going rate, if that was the market for that level of pitcher, and that's why I said it was two-sided. Detroit, hey, pony up here. Let's, it's okay. It's okay to get rid of Tariq Skubal in this situation. If you're the Orioles, you want to win a World Series. You want to go get the best pitcher in the American League right now and go shove and win that division in the AL East.
I don't think he was available.
Probably not.
And by the way, Garrett Crochet got his wish. He didn't have to pitch in the playoffs.
Yes, that's true. What I'm saying is Skubal could have been available if the Orioles dangle Jackson Holiday. If they dangle Jackson Holiday, those conversations would have happened, and something would have came up out of that.
I think there's only one world where Skubal was dealt.
For the number one prospect in baseball?
No, if Baez was attached.
Oh, yeah, get rid of that money. Yeah.
That's the only world where I think Skubal would have been gone.
Somebody would have to eat that money.
Not only that, it creates a hole.
That's good. Yeah, you're right.
It eats the money, creates a hole, and they can get a haul because they know the Orioles, they got all their players are controllable and young.
Yep.
They still haven't paid Burns. Like they could do it, but they do need a second pitcher. I heard this on MLB Network. I don't want to take credit, but I agree once I heard it. They need another pitcher between Corbin Burns and Grayson Rodriguez, and I don't think Eflin's the guy. So They did miss a number 2 starter. They probably should have went after Jamison Tyone. He would have been a better ad than Zach Eflin. He's been a solid pitcher, and he's proven it in bigger markets, so I think he would have been fine there. But, I mean, I agree with them being a loser. I think they could have done more.